I'll make sure I can pull it up on my phone.
Yeah, no, we will. We'll try to look at this whole thing. How do I see if people are trying to talk to me? That's Streamlabs chat.
Streamlabs chat in theory. Here, let me test it out for you real quick. Well, just use the mouse. You want it bigger?
Yeah, way bigger.
See it through the glass. And you see what I just typed in chat?
No.
Wait, he will in a second. You don't see that? Wait up. No. Double rag. I made it worse. How do I get Streamlabs chat to pop back up? I have no idea.
You probably got to go to Streamlabs. And I bet we closed Streamlabs.
It's under Streamlabs or it's in StreamViewer? It's in OBS. It's what? Oh, it's in OBS? Yeah. It's probably under docs. Docs up at the top. Docs. Streamlabs chat. Yo. And then worst case, worst case, you can pull up the YouTube chat and put it on the screen. Are you sure you chatted something? In the YouTube chat. Why wouldn't it be popping up? I'm on Streamlabs chat. Oh, there it goes. No, it's working. It's working.
Yo, it came up. Kurt, it came up.
You saw Hey Billy?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah. It's
Cool.
working.
All right, we think we got it.
Cool.
Thanks, Kurt.
Right.
I might make some money, dude. I'm fucking dope. All right, late. 8%.
5%.
4.
All right. You want guys on this one or that? That one, I'll put it up there on this thing.
This one. I think maybe I should switch. I don't know.
Because then you can scoot a little bit more over. You can have extra space. Person over here, if you scoot further over, ain't nobody coming in out of the door at all. Also, Quinn's torch area over here.
Yeah.
So watch out. Let me put this up there.
Well, so this was cool, man. Looks way better. Yep. Vacuum gear.
These are yours too, right? I got more Steve.
Hell yeah.
I'm out of tape. He did 2 tapes on each one of his.
Blue or green?
Let's say he did blue and black. Blue, black and white. Now,
Ah, blue is good. We could just do use blue and green.
well, I'm saying I'm just gonna give more tape. Like, why wouldn't you just make all yours blue?
I don't give a fuck about shit like that, but that's fine.
They didn't have purple.
Like I said, I don't give a fuck about shit like that.
It's gonna be nice to them. Like if you have tools.
They say say somebody comes in with the green. What's up, man? How you doing? Yeah, like if somebody comes in and they already have green tape on, there's no confusion.
That's what my idea was. The double was.
Yep. Nobody does a double. You got to tape the fucking all the hoses though, man. That's the important one. So 1 can go with 1, 2 can go with 2.
What's the bat?
Nothing. Look, I got to readjust these cameras. Huh? Do I want to dab out? Of course. Oh. Oh, sorry. Johnny! Where? I can't see this fucking thing. There ain't no way I can read that fucking chat anyway. Like, at my eyes?
There's no milligrams.
There's no milligrams.
What's the 200 for?
Total?
I'm good on that. Sounds sketchy.
They're dried mouth, so this is 200 Shaw. F string.
My mouth is all dry. Now it's not.
Alright, so you
Straight crunched on that fucking thing.
Yo,
why is the cardboard you?
why are you looking at that torch anyway? Oh, sorry, live stream. Yeah, that wasn't very good. Johnny, that shit sucked, dog. Yeah.
You got shade for it.
Yeah, if I hadn't chewed it, it'd probably be all right. But like, it's too much at once. Ah!
It reminds me of the old ice cream.
This was a prank? This is like a prank candy? All right. There I am.
I made my kind of thing from y'all stuff.
My tongue is kind of thing.
I had 3
Okay.
Fucking threw them all in my hand.
I was gonna die.
Well, you got
Oh.
Live in here.
Oh. That's too tall.
I pre-scooted over a little bit.
Pre-scooted over? No. Bro, like right here? Yeah, that shit's rough, bro. It's like my mouth tastes like shit now.
This is awful. Like it just got progressively like
it's got like this. I chewed it back here. And it's like it doesn't make my mouth numb, but it's like it doesn't have a good minty taste.
It's like a
Too medicinal.
Yeah.
My mouth is watering.
Yeah.
This could be good for night.
For a night?
Yep. And when my mouth gets all dry, but the taste, I mean, like I wake up, I'd be like, ah.
Yeah. It's almost like not like breath minty. Like the old.
He's fucked. All right, so which one is which? Tell me about the cameras. Sure. I'm just trying to do the job, dude. I don't know. I got no problem with you doing it. I don't give a fuck about shit like that.
Like right there, man. Oh, great.
I think Kurt should even go a little bit more abstract, like fuck a eye. And really, I would just do the back and forth. Like I don't even think I'd make it a snake. I guess you got to make it a snake if you're trying to do something. If you're trying to be somebody. Can you see my face at all? Hell yeah. That's the most important part, dog. You got to see me. Like Billy is like these guys thinking the glassblowing people want to watch glassblowing. They're crazy, dog. People just want to see Billy. That's what I think. This one's low road. Oh yeah. I'm just gonna.
Water too now.
It is good on the mouth, like you said.
Have you tried drinking water?
Oh, wait a second. The taste is almost gone. You got my face good?
Yeah.
What about the top of my head? Is all chopping off? No? That's all right? Yeah, what I'm saying, man, nobody cares about that. So if I stand right here, what if I stand right here? There's Billy with the mirror, too. Oh! I'm saying I think it's good for that. Bullshit. Some fucking bullshit up in there.
That's weird. Like one of the strangest mouth sensations I've ever had.
That's a hey, you should take a picture and put it on us on Discord. Be like, see what you guys are doing? You're killing the planet. Huh, they're just trying to they're trying to trap water.
How long did you say?
Fucking like 1,000 years. But that's just a little bit of time in fucking the pantheon of Earth. It's too bad. See, what I'm gonna need is a monitor fucking that like hangs down in the middle.
Why don't we get a little TV for up in the corner?
Maybe, right? But like if it's a live stream, so like if I'm in here blowing glass by myself and I'm supposed to be talking to the people that are talking to me, like I gotta fucking be able to read their shit all easy. I need like fucking blown up font. I need like size 64 font. So like that shit comes in like a teleprompter.
We could probably fit like a little 34, 35 inch.
Yeah.
Up there. I mean, that wouldn't even be like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, we're definitely some type of monitor.
I'm wondering if that corner or like this corner would be a more advantageous spot for it, heat wise. Like there's a vent right there, as opposed to no vent here.
I almost think too that well, no, it wouldn't work right there. Maybe just rest like yeah, like I don't know. Somewhere
Get
easy
the
to
front
fuck
glass out of it.
yeah, somewhere easy to read.
Is there a chat box on this screen?
There was, but we killed it somehow. We gotta get Johnny to put it back on.
Trash can. Every time I hear it, I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Well, we should get one of these. We should have one of these. Oh. Did you bring the opals for here back here?
Yeah.
Sweet. What else does a guy need? I guess I gotta check my fucking stock. Maybe not. Maybe I got 6 experimental greens already. Five.
Dude, we bought those just for him. We bought those just for that dude. Yeah, like we tried it, it didn't really sell. Somebody came up in here and she was like, "Man, my husband really needs these. Like, if y'all get them, we'll just keep coming back for them." No way. And they came in here with the device of things on the bottom. I don't do
This one is pins. I just want to see what I got. See what I got, then I'll know what I should make. So, all right, I've been thinking about it a lot, and I know how it's going to come across already.
Okay.
If we're worried about the factory glass on the inside of a tube, so we went ahead and we said, fuck it, we're not using shot. It's fucking bullshit glass. It has too many impurities coming out of it. We went and bought the Cymax.
Yeah.
So we bought the 9.5 Cymax tube out of the box, right? And we use this to encase our opal.
Uh-huh.
So we close up the end, we drop it in, right? Then we skin all the glass off except for the smallest layer of the innermost glass.
Yeah.
So we're really only leaving the dirty glass on the fucking thing.
Yeah.
All the rest of the glass that's the fresh ass brand new Cymax, that's like the all the millimeters outside of the 9.5, right? So the 9.5 is 2 millimeters thick. 1.9 of those millimeters is perfectly clean ass glass.
Yeah.
Only the inner 1 millimeter that you put directly over the opal should have factory dust in it, right?
Well, I mean, you should be cleaning your tubes before.
Inside out,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So where's the trash at?
on the outside, where and when they're sitting next to each other in the crates and they're doing this, you have micro scratches. So it's
On the outside.
yeah. That outside layer is the nasty. Once you get that down, you're skinning it. You're good.
That. The outside layer you can clean yourself. Oh, but that's micro scratches.
That's where it's like you get these little like the same concept between like, do you want to heat up and tear off the end of a rod before you start using it, or can you heat that up without causing that to bubble? Like you can do it if it's been mechanically cut.
Yeah, I pull that off.
But you don't have to. You can melt that in really cleanly if you take the time to do it.
Yeah, but you're still talking about the same shit.
Exactly.
You're still talking about this little these little glass particles, all this little shit, right? The other question is who's fucking who's cleaning out the inside of their 9.5?
Right.
So you get it. You have your 9.5, right? I have mine right here. But if I didn't have mine right here, I'd have a big ass stick of it.
Yeah.
And I would use my glass cutters and I'd cut that motherfucker down, pop, pop, pop. Right, which would leave me all this glass dust on the inside of all of the places I snap.
Yeah.
Which I'm then encasing my opal in because I'm definitely not cleaning out every fucking 9.5 I got.
Okay. Yeah, I see you.
But I understand the micro scratches on the outside. I did not think about that aspect of it. It's like we're worried about the scratches on the outside of the 9.5 rather than the schmutz on the inside of the 9.5. Because I kept thinking about it, I was like,
I see
you're not getting rid of the schmutz.
Even on the small stuff. Like they'll wash their tubes and whatnot, like prep everything, clean everything, and then set it down, and then it's ready to use. That's how Jay goes. Like lays out paper towels on this little island stand, we'll sit there, spray everything down, wipe it all down, clean out the insides of the tubes, lay it all down, and then it's like
on his 12s.
For doing stuff like that.
Okay.
Yes. Or for back stacking, whatnot. Like anytime that there's something going in it to be trapped,
clean it out.
Yeah. But if it's just a handle, no, fuck that. Just run.
All right, I can accept that answer. Touche, sir. Touche. So I thought about it. I was like, man, I've been fighting this shit. I was sitting there thinking about it. I'm like, nah, dog. This morning I was on my hike. I said, no. They're fucking you gotta clean out the inside of every fucking 9.5 you ever use if you're trying to fucking use this, if you're trying to live by this theory.
Yeah. But
I ain't fucking, I'm about to fucking drop them.
Cut 1.5 and you use a long ass handle. And you just start on that. Like once you've cleaned it.
Yeah, but you ain't cleaning the inside of your whole 9.5 with the fucking paper towel.
You can clean like a 10, 12-inch section of it.
You could. I'm saying, no. I ain't trying to challenge. But clean the inside of this. This motherfucker's skinny as fuck.
Oh, I know. You have to roll the paper towel.
Yeah, all the way down and get it in here as far as you can. And you're talking about a half length too. I was a long ass one. I'm saying there's no real I don't know. There's no real way. But I do understand the micro scratches on the outside. I can sort of get with it. I still think that you should advertise it. I was totally telling. That's what I was like. I was telling Keller. I was like, man, that was our whole problem with Cold Cookie. Is like we did all this cool shit, but we just didn't tell anybody.
Yeah, we're
so. Yeah.
The disconnect. How does this thing start as a raw material, and what's the process to get it?
Yeah, because most people can't these scratches on the outside of a 9.5. Fuck out of here. This is only a polariscope. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I bet Jay don't have a fucking polariscope.
No.
You know what I mean? Like it's like this crazy shit that you're doing because somebody else told you that this is what you do if you want to be clean. But there is no way that these micro scratches are going to be seen. There's nobody that can see it.
Right.
Maybe there's somebody that can see it, or it's like, you know how I'm talking about, I can see the differences in the flame.
Yeah.
I can tell if I use a piece of china glass with the fucking shot, and I can totally see it, but I can't see it if as soon as it gets out.
And that's what I'm thinking. At the level of Yusheen or rim scrap, where you have true museum quality final products. That's where those things make the difference. Maybe.
If the motherfucker in the museum gives up, you know what I mean? But they have to deal with all these fucking weird ass Italians and
yeah,
you know what I mean? I don't know.
I've stacked all those sixes up here in this corner. Right?
Oh, cool. Yeah, I thought about it when I got home last night, man. I'm sorry. I just fucking like I should have just put the box in there. Like I was like, I brought the box. Then I just set it. Then I just set it down and started talking shit about how I brought the box.
Yesterday, found this underneath the. I was like, oh, I recognize that picture. Like, those are J's.
Oh, cool. Oh, these are cool. Little mini jack.
New?
They look old.
And the
Oh, you need some more drawers.
So squeeze those.
Oh wow.
And like look, you can see how much material they've shaved down.
Wonder why these it's just from bending so many times. Like he has to keep bending them out.
No, I think the old ones were just nicer.
Stronger.
I mean, over
Cheaper metal.
yeah. Yeah, they've shaved it down and then any way they could. And now we have
Yeah, light ass fucking bullshit metal.
which is like, if you've been doing this for a long time and you replace something like that, it's gonna be a big notice.
Yeah.
Someone like me that's like,
Yeah. The springiness doesn't.
never would have known.
I was thinking about the first bail biters I saw somebody use were tweezers that had been bent in.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking about that a lot too. I was thinking about your trash glass one. And then I was thinking if I've just been kind of using the bell biters wrong, like I'm using them a little bit too cold, or if everybody uses the bell biters, just breaks the fuck out of the inside of their bail, right? Because you can feel it break.
Right.
Which is again, you're just throwing scuzz all over your fucking shit.
Yeah.
Like basically, you're taking glass, you're breaking it, and it's falling all over all of the rest of your shit. And it's getting this ambient heat, and all this extra shit that just dropped is falling on your shit.
Yeah.
Right. But it's like believe me, I'm gonna keep using the bell biter. But I was thinking about it, it's like, man, maybe I'm doing this too cold. Because it seems like somebody who hates glass fucking dust, which is wouldn't use them.
Right.
Because like glass dust at all is a fuck that. Like I don't like if I was the type of person that picked all my holes, never used a cutter. Yeah. Because I'm like, dude, I don't fuck with that glass dust.
Yeah.
Then I couldn't use the bell biters.
Right.
Or I was like, I'm using them wrong by letting it get too cold rather than really going in it hot and getting that separation of hot.
Yeah. I feel like there's no avoiding it with bell biters.
Yeah, you're fucking up. You're like you're taking your museum quality sting and just saying,
yeah. Whereas like,
which again,
not worried about cold work yet.
Yeah.
It'd be a solid polish.
No, it's just more like the person that's worried about that scuzz, like that little bit of extra shit. It's funny because I can totally see the argument. Like it's when I was talking to Keller, it's like I just totally hear myself talking about, dog, why don't you cut the corner? And then I think about how hard that would be for like somebody who wants to be a fine artist.
Yeah.
And it's just like, cut the corner. Are you fucking kidding? Yeah. Like there's a right way and a wrong way, motherfucker.
Right.
It's a good thing art is subjective. Whew. But there's some dirty brush motherfuckers out there in the painting world too, right? It's just like they don't even switch their fucking colors out. They're just like blah blah blah. And some other motherfucker in the same game. It's like, bro, if you're not using fucking fine horsehair, what are you even fucking doing?
Yeah. Such a wild thing. Why is one blank canvas $1 million versus another one $35?
No, and I'm sure the canvas stretching, there's people that feel that way about stretching their own canvases. You know what I mean? And some other motherfuckers just buying shit from Michael's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You try to take that shit to the museum, and they're like, bro, this is the nicest painting I've ever seen, but it's on the Michael's back.
Yeah.
And some people probably just break that shit down all the way. Like you catch some dude from like some crazy like the middle of Africa somewhere. Nobody gives a fuck about his canvas. They're like, wow, he made that shit on this fucking
leather.
Yeah, nothing. Like it's just a fucking piece of notebook paper.
Right.
Color, green. Do we have a lot? Enough?
You don't want to do an opaque, do you?
No, I just want to hit my 5 or 6.
There's some chonky rods in there too. Here you go. Dollar shit. Thanks.
I was just thinking it was shot. I was like, whoa, dude. Motherfucker really cut through there. All right, it'll be 2. Uh-oh. Yeah, it took me a while on the ends of the rods, for sure. Like cleaning the rod before I started my coil pot.
Yeah.
But now I'm really good about it. I do it almost every time. Yeah, I think that's because I just got caught too many times.
Yeah. A little bit right there at the start.
Or even on a different application, like laying dots down rather than.
Ooh. So they will set up their box up to the volcano, and then the volcano, it's got it produces its own air, but it just fucking sits there, just consistently just spewing out smoke the whole time. Just people just come by, they hit it as much as they want.
Oh wow!
They move on down the road. The thing just sits there. You don't got to put your mouth on it at all.
That's crazy.
The bowl is like 2 grams in the bowl, so it lasts a fucking minute.
I better ask Johnny before he leaves here. I gotta get the Johnny has the second day sales numbers from the event.
So we're getting a bit out there. More than I thought we were going to.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I was definitely surprised. I was like, wow. No, it's easy to see how we could do really good at a farmer's market.
Yeah. Let's see, build on the side of your own plate.
Oh, yeah.
Organize the days.
No worries.
That last one, I should be able to reach up that side. It's like, mess up these.
Oh, cool. Hopefully that shit don't burn through my shoe.
Land on top.
Yeah. I don't think it will. I can smell it though.
I fucking dropped an eyeball inside my crop the other day. And it was like underneath the arch of my foot. And I was like, I think I'm done wearing those in here.
Yeah, I think Kurt's absolutely fucking crazy.
Barefoot.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Shit's a recipe for disaster. He ain't human.
Yeah. You've shaken his hand before?
Yeah, fucking baseball.
I think they're naturally that way.
Yeah.
The guy thought that he was like, yeah. Oh, sure. Well, if you don't feel shit really,
Right.
your hands are tough as fuck, then it's just like you do all sorts of crazy shit and you still don't feel it. And your hands get even more callous, you get even more badass.
You want these in here, or is this for the shop? These are fold out steps. Are these the bin for bottles or something?
Yeah, I think I didn't care.
Okay.
Like that they were as cheap this way as they are just buying the bushing.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
You've thought about so with these eyes, I just saw this thing that you're doing. That have you considered?
The sculpted ones?
Well, so look. So see how open this eye is versus how closed this eye is? If you fuck up this eye
You can.
to just keep going to make this eye.
I think that's where that one came.
Okay. Hell yeah. I was like, dude, that shit's money. I was like,
figure out like eyelid before laying it down is the move. But then like what I have is I have just a bit money. And so I'm trying to figure out like how to get this approach.
oh,
Keep like the symmetry of like what should be like how much of the lid and what angle should be covering the eyes.
you thought about or just attaching the funny at the bottom? Like, so instead of like you're already behind, but then instead of like just move down here and then draw this one.
And then switch it and draw the other.
Maybe. Sounds like a fucking pain in the ass. Like if you can just do it this way.
I know, that's what I'm like. I like being connected up on the back.
Yeah. Yeah, hell yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. That it fucking sucked to have to the whole switch up.
It's tough too. I think what I like the shape of the point before I even put any lids on there, because I have like the UFO thing going on where there's like a round and then it like has a lip outside of it. You have this corner down in there where the lens comes down before the lip goes out, if that makes sense. And this little corner right here, trying to get that eyelid down on it, like you almost have to go behind it first and then come up onto the lens so that you don't get any bubble back there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You kind of almost need to just make this like big lens with no lippy back behind it, just to be able to like poke. Because then it would be like putting something down on a marble. You'd just be like one side,
yeah.
flat as you go.
Pull off the fucking shit off the top.
Yeah.
It's a good thought. Yeah, and then if you mess it up and get it off, that's when you stringer the color in. You know what I mean? Okay, so you have your flat spot. You got your eyes sitting out here. Shh. You know what I mean? And you're trying to get this part.
Yeah.
But it goes a little off center. Then your stringer comes and cleans it up.
Yeah.
Kind of. Like if you got like, you know what I mean? Like you're saying, like fucking to lay the stringer down so fucking like to not bring it down onto the eye and shit like that.
That's hard too, is like what you want.
But once that flat one goes down, there ain't shit you can do really.
You can tell as it got over here, it was a little hot as it laid down, so you lose that lip.
Yeah.
With the to make it look like two separate pieces. So you almost have to like
this is really good.
Just get that target down because it's like a one shot go.
Yeah, ain't shit to do.
Not a whole lot. You can try carving within it, but then you have like distorting all the lens and everything. And it, like you can tell like up in there where you like mashed at it and shit.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, like this is a good format for it, right? Like where you just are chopping them. You're like eyelid, bap, bap.
Yeah.
Yeah, then the bubble behind it and all that shit sucks. You know what I mean? But like
you put pop.
Yeah, but probably won't. You know. Like,
I just hope they make it to the killing. Like
I got like I'm saying like what like these are all. I feel like a lot of these here are that way. Like I'm just fucking like this is a bad example of one, right? But I'm just fucking tight and nasty on the inside. Everything is all fucking mashed up back here. I'm fucking taking the whole thing, I'm mashing it down, and then I'm just going under and heating it. Yeah. But like it's still just fucking mashed the fuck inside. Like I'm definitely not doing enough after heating to clear out the stress that I just fucking did. But I haven't lost any. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So like if I'm making a rig, I don't want all that stress.
Right.
I try to like a lot of times I'll try to not even hit the back of the vortex. Like so like one of the texts is like to tack the back of the vortex to the back of the piece. But if I'm making something really fancy, I don't want to tack it. Then it pops later when next time I'm trying to pop a hole out of the side of it or I'm trying to work it in some type of way, it fucks it up. With this one though, just fucking bow, 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 dirty.
Right.
Yeah, I was doing them all fucking thick as fuck on purpose. No.
What you want to do with these guys? You want to start working through this? Using them for stuff?
Yeah. Like, do I want to? No, but yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Fun stuff. Yeah. Fun stuff. I wonder whose horns these were.
Maybe Kurt.
Oh, look at that one. Well, if I know. Leave it somewhere to look cool.
It's not a bad one.
Ah, there's some nice shit in here. This is Kurt. This is Kurt right here. We'll ask him too. I don't know. Yeah, we should use them.
Yeah.
They go against all the ideas. like here's this bucket of miscellaneous shit. So when you feel like not making the same exact thing again and again, no, no. Yeah, miscellaneous box of shit is like the worst.
Yeah.
You gotta look at every piece. Like, what should I do with this one? What should I do with this one?
A bunch of Minnie Mouse style balls, crazy fucking attachments to make it look.
Yep. Yeah, glass on glass bowl is a good one. I was thinking. I don't know though. All of it goes like saying goes against the catalog for sure.
Yeah.
And it goes against making a heady.
Yeah.
Like it's like this bucket of shit that really goes against everything we're trying to do.
Right.
If you're trying to do something that's like that you're trying to figure like you're trying to be deliberate about making something that you want to make. So then you're just gonna deliberately use a bunch of shit in a bucket. We're trying to deliberately make a piece to do 6 times in a row. Can't do that shit with no fucking bucket.
It's like China slime. Is it red choppy?
No, it wasn't that bad. I was just like striping it with color. Like not even preheating it or nothing, just striping it down, fucking twisting it, bolt, making a bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised. I didn't lose any of those either.
Yeah, about the original elections.
Is he gonna hook up the fucking cold bong or what?
You know,
Nobody want fucking dude. I was thinking about it. It's like I'm just gonna fucking piss a bunch of people off when I veto the fucking sweatpants. Tell me the most influential person that wants sweatpants besides you.
Taylor.
Damn it. No.
Like,
I want some. My glass.
That's on you, champ. I did you some sweatpants. Thanks, Johnny. The glass blowing room. The glass fucking stoked with you right now. Oh. Some basketball shorts. Okay, that should be good. Ooh, you might want to fucking teach Nick on this torch, huh?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let me finish this one. This is first, huh? Nick is first, or this is later? Do you have any idea?
I have.
Don't forget, you can spray that. You can spray that with water.
I know.
Yeah. No, hey, hell yeah.
Uh,
I don't believe in silicosis myself.
let's get
Okay.
like putting up and organized thing. And then we don't have an official list for
Well, who needs? No, but turn on the gases. Yeah, like everything in the room to make sure that the room is good for him, and then everything about a triple mix.
piece of the door work, basically.
Yeah, and then try to get him to melt some glass.
Hearts, right?
If he can get there.
Okay.
It could be you make a couple hearts while he gathers you some glass, you know?
Yeah.
But I'd say teach him the class a couple times. See how many, you know what I mean?
That's what I was
See how many times it takes him to do it without a person.
Yeah. That's also good.
Yeah.
No skill.
Yeah, watch for when he's gonna naturally fuck it up.
Yeah. The pinch points.
But the one that really helped me was remembering the neck versus the face. So like where the ball
Grounding.
yeah, where the ball meets the rod,
Yeah.
that's the neck. When you hit the face, sure. When you hit the face of the shit, that's the top of the ball.
Yeah.
I was saying you were around like yesterday. I was talking about just fucking with Catherine for fun yesterday.
Maybe.
I was just talking shit. I was like, man, I just been fucking mad at her all day.
Uh-huh.
And this morning she hit me right away. Last night she was definitely worried.
That you're upset?
Yeah, oh yeah. I just been fucking with like all day long. And this morning she texted me. She said, I had this dream you broke up with me. She had a dream that I broke up with her. I left her. So that shit worked. I was on my grind all day yesterday, fucking with Catherine.
Yeah, that's real quick.
The king has to call for an election for there to be an election. It's like the people have decided to have their own election. It's like an overthrow of the government, kind of. Yeah, cool. I should have just got underneath it right away. Like instead of my question about sweatpants, just like right away be like, I didn't authorize this. Any of y'all caught voting on this fucking bullshit will be punished summarily. You can thank Johnny for your lack of gift card next month.
Four.
This means you, Davion. Nick, man, I already apologized. Huh? I know. So I said that. I said that. Trump, baby. Fuck this shit. It's America. I can do what I want. President fucking does what they want in America, bro. Fucking Joe Biden. Um, I was gonna apologize to Nick for not ponying up the $80, dog. That was a mistake. Last night for the fucking for the John Jones. Like we kicked back, we kind of got a little excited about watching John Jones fight. Oh, dog, it was like a Trump-gasm. We missed like the Trump like fucking pop culture coronation, like legit, bro. Jelly roll, fucking hugging up on this motherfucker, like all these like. Yeah. I'm saying we had it. Like the whole team was here. We had like, well, not the whole team, but we had team here. 4 of us were here. 4 of us were into watching the fight. 4 of us were stoked that John Jones was going to come on. And then it was $80, and I was like, nah, big pockets, big pockets felt a little cheap last night. And that was it was a great opportunity for camaraderie building. And I fucking let it go like a sucker. All right, so how you want to do it? Trade them, switch them, clean this side. Live stream here, live stream the teaching. Let's do it. As long as you cuss at Nick a little bit. Fuck, I told you to do it this way.
Over here.
Yeah?
You're in the group.
No? Not overly. Not overly. No, but I do need this absinthe in its proper location for the now. No, I better give you guys the space. That's more logical. Big rods?
All 10.
10. Ooh, there's an eyeball.
Oh.
Experimental green. This is an experimental green on top of this absinthe. I'm gonna use it again though.
Okay.
Ooh, is that hot? Oh, this one. Okay, he's gonna want that one. We'll come back to this one. Okay. See if I can figure out how to pull up the chat. Why, thank you. Hey, Johnny, where's this? What's it called at? You need to be nicer. How do I pick up the stream? Or my comment? Hey. Oh, sorry. I did it for them.
For them. It should be floating around here somewhere. Right there.
It was right here.
Document. Premium.
There it is. How'd you find that? And how do we know?
Whoa. Dog, you got a lot going on. Let's catch you up.
It's all my man Blue.
And Spice.
Yo, and my man Spice.
Like it's Spice is the Billy Glassman. I go back to sleep. My head hurts.
I love this fucking live stream shit. I don't remember what I got. I still got my shit on right now. I don't remember what I said about Spice. Oh no.
Yeah, dog. First off, whenever you start typing with one finger, that's whenever I beat you. Like you were saying how slow I am earlier, and then you're over here like, where's the F? That would be more efficient. But now he's back up. Salute. I'm watching Whaley wins back down.
What is that?
I don't know. Wally's wine back down. What's Wally's wine back down, Blue?
Walleye. That shit's cool.
What's cool?
Well, then it's like I'm talking to Blue and Blue's typing to me, and neither of us remember what I was talking shit about Spice about. There's something that he'll be in charge, maybe.
Spice wants to be a manager.
Hell yeah, he's been working all hard.
What?
All hard.
Alright, so we
Then we can dab out. Yo,
So I'm reading this.
hold on. The room. Yo, man, I'm out. Perception, man. Can you hear me now? Oh, here, and this one will latch it.
Yeah.
Boom. Here, clip that one.
So, can you hear me? Do I have to push any buttons on it? Can you hear me? Do I need to push a button? Oh, they can hear me. Okay, you can't. I got you. I got you. Ventilation, yeah. Glass, heavy metals, off gassing, all that good stuff. You want really good, clean ventilation, or a lot of ventilation, rather. Yes. So the thing with the GTT torches, the torches that we use here, they're what's called a triple mix torch, meaning we have one line for fuel, or one valve for fuel, and then or two valves for oxygen. The fuel, obviously, we're using propane. These things can also run with natural gas. It's a little bit different configuration, but I think natural gas is a little bit cleaner than propane is, more efficient. But it burns with like a more blue flame. There's not as much yellow in it. Not anything that you would necessarily need to worry about. But to start the triple mix torch, you're always going to start by lighting the propane first. The Phantom is what's called a two-stage torch, meaning we have this first set of knobs of 3 and then a second behind it of 3 as well, controlling the two different essentially torches built into the face. You have the center fire, which is referred to as the links. That's all controlled with these first 3 knobs here. And then that second stage, the Phantom stage, is what lights that outer ring. That outer ring will allow you to work larger vessels, get a much more even heat distribution and everything like that. But it can also be like big and scary and intense. So to start, you always want to light first and then come over, open up your propane till you get a bit of a flame going. It would probably help if we opened up our valves again at the wall. The top of both are going to be the left-hand station, and then the bottom of both are the right-hand station. So if you come in, you're set up right here. This is oxygen and propane. And oxygen's always going to be green, propane's always going to be red. So now to light the torch, bring your fire underneath. Always approach from below. You never want to come in from up top. Flame's always going to rise up. Once you get a flame going about like that, then you come over to the green knob on the left-hand side, and that one's going to tilt forward. And you slowly open that up till we've got a nice blue flame going. So quick anatomy of the flame. You have your candles, which are these little pointy guys down here. You have your flame body, which is the working zone from about here up to about here. And then you have the tip of your flame. So this outer portion there. There are 3 different types of flame chemistry. You have a neutral flame, which is going to be an equal balance of propane and oxygen. So kind of where we're at right now. There's also what's referred to as a reduction flame. So when you reduce the amount of oxygen and the propane is increased in the ratio, that is reduction. If we were to increase the oxygen instead of reduction, we have oxidizing flames. You can kind of hear and tell the difference visually in those types of flames. But visuals are going to be your best reference for it. Don't always trust that like the sound is where it sits, because this is a reduction flame, but it sounds just like that little oxidizing flame did. So looking at the body of the flame, once you've gotten the torch lit with the GTT, if these candles are less than a ½ inch long, always have that blue knob open just a little bit. So this is going to change the overall atmosphere or like the profile of the flame. These are your 2 primary knobs for adjusting. But this third knob up here, that's what will allow a lot more characteristics to be reached. You can get these tiny, tiny little needle flames, all just because this thing is open. But what happens is these candles, when they get really low, like that, you can actually start heating up the ports, the individual little rings on the face of the torch, and those can melt together and it'll ruin the face of the torch essentially. There's a few things that we can do on a regular basis to help avoid that. One of which is just a good regular cleaning. When it comes to cleaning, you want to open up all of your oxygen knobs. And I hold the brush overhand and I'll just sit here and scrub. And so take a look at it starting out. Turn these off so it's not blasting you in the face. But like get a close detailed look at the ports and everything and look at how much nastiness and grime is on there when it starts. A few minutes of this and it will be much different. Don't forget to turn on your oxygen. What that does is it helps blast like any of the carbon buildup or anything that's on the front. It's blasting out instead of falling down into the ports. And you don't want to blast propane because obvious reasons. You can already see the difference in that. And if we just do this once a week, even, I mean, really twice a week for the amount that we're using these. But once a week, and we would not have to worry about sending these things off as often. It's good to change the angle when you're doing this too, so that you're not like wearing a constant. You don't want to just be like sanding one direction off. You could create an angle on a little bit of the ports. Yeah. That's good enough. All right, now when we light it again, all of that debris is going to still be trying to push and purge itself out. So we'll tap on the body of the torch to kind of dislodge some of that with a wooden tool. You don't want to smack on the barrel with anything hard. And you don't want, even with wood, you don't want to smack on it really hard. You're just kind of trying to tap, help aid some of that stuff in coming out. Light the outside ring without the inside going. You have to have the inner fire on and running for it to be safe. I'm tapping a little harder there because that's the mount for the thing. Yeah, so the shock is just kind of going through, being absorbed. But you see all the stuff like flying out of it. All right, questions so far?
Go over the nozzles again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the most important thing here.
Red is always going to be your propane or fuel. The easiest way to remember how to turn on and off the torch is poop. P-O-O-P. Propane, oxygen, and then oxygen, propane. So that's on and off in the same word. So to turn on, we light propane. Come over to the green, oxygen. And then it's always good to just go ahead and open up that blue just a little bit. You can kind of crack it, see what it does, and then turn it back, but not all the way off. As long as it's open.
And not really like play with it much.
Yeah, and I mean you can play with it. Like there will definitely be moments where it's like that's too much that you're trying to heat up wide. So it's like this is a lot more advantageous. And that's I do want to make sure that you understand how to adjust it and how to get to those different places in the flame. Because if you were trying to use, you know, this to melt through this guy, I'm gonna be like, it's gonna take a second, Nick. Whereas you'll need, you know, something a little bit more like that to get in there. Vice versa, you have this going and you bust out a bunch of stringers and you're like, all right, here we go. I'm gonna be like, dude, that thing's gonna curl up on you in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So you'll need to be able to come over here, bring that down, and still keep a flame that is appropriate for what you're doing. You want to match the flame to your job. Big job, big flame. Little job, little flame. When it comes to super detailed things, the stringer is a good example of like you can get glass moving pretty quickly. This stuff, let's get some glasses on real quick. Johnny, can you hear me? No. You never want to walk away from your torch while it's running. It's a good habit. Do we have a pair of glasses he can wear? Oh, those are sunglasses. I thought too. I was like, oh.
Yeah, that box is really rather cool.
Oh, here we go. Okay. Get to pick your poison.
Next again. No.
All right. So you can see, like, even with a tiny little flame like this, it's still super hot, and this thing will melt crazy fast. But if I had something like this, I wouldn't even be able to control. Like, you see the difference in how that first one laid down, and that was just like crazy. So that just a really good trick to remember. Like, it's easy to get overwhelmed or just overstimulated when you're sitting here and you're like, holy fuck, this is a lightsaber in front of my hands. So don't be afraid to like take a second and be like, okay, hang on, what am I doing? How can I adjust this? I think next what I'll have you do is just go ahead and turn it on. Never keep your lighter on the bench. You'll either set a piece of hot glass down on it and it'll explode, or the radiant heat from your torch will just make it explode while you're least expecting. And the valves work opposite directions. Everything essentially is a left-hand opening knob, but because the right and left, it's just going to feel a little different. And they're what's called needle valves. So they're very, very fine adjustments, if you haven't already noticed.
Yeah, definitely.
And you want to just work one at a time. Don't get used to putting both hands on it and adjusting everything, because you're usually going to be doing something and trying to make your adjustments at the same time. So I would say practice left-handed first. Most people are right-hand dominant. Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm ambidextrous, so there's some things that I'll I might do that you'll look at and be like, that looks really fucking awkward. If that comes up, say so, because I am not good about recognizing what is the right way, or the right hand way. Do you remember the 3 flame types that we were just talking about a minute ago?
Yeah, the candle, the body, and the tip.
So those are that's the flame anatomy, but we have a neutral flame is the first one, and then
Oxidized.
yep, and
And the
reduction,
Yeah.
or reducing
like the
flame.
softer one I was making.
Yeah. And that's a good, I'm glad you said that. So the reduction flame, or a soft and fluffy flame, as it's a lot of times called, it has its purpose and advantages, and so does an oxidizing flame. A lot of that will change on the types of glass that we're melting as well, or the colors. Each of those colors and their chemical makeup are going to respond to the flame chemistry a lot differently. Amber purple and all the colors that come from it are manipulated by just using that flame chemistry a lot of times, or striking in the kiln. So you've got kind of a tight body on the flame. Come back off of the blue knob just a little bit. There you go. And you see the color change, how like this is a little bit more of a soft blue, and then it hit it with a little bit more green. And then keep going. See how that kind of darkens up. And now we have this, there's actually like a dark spot right here in the middle of the body. That dark spot is air. It's cold. So the gases are being mixed and igniting, and you have 3 different zones. So even in a neutral flame, you can still achieve a reducing or an oxidizing effect based on where you're at. A lot of times in the beginning, people tend to sit right here in front of the candles on their torch when they're melting. But the best working zone is going to be from about here to about here. It's the middle third. So the first third is reducing. Middle third, the gases are all mixed together and burning really effectively. And then this outer third, the oxygen, if there's any left, is pushing out, and it's overpowering the amount of propane. So this is a very oxidizing region out here. The best example I can give you for how different those flame types are is by using tungsten. Tungsten is the only metal that's safe to do this with. If you do that with stainless steel, it's going to melt. I mean, you can flash these to heat them up, but you don't want to stick it in there. So if we start with just a neutral flame, we've got nice long yellow candles, a good like solid body of the flame, and a nice like soft kind of fluffy tail, but it's not like blowing all over the place. Sometimes if you have a really soft flame, the slightest little wind and that tail is like whoa, all over. So neutral takes 1, 2, 3 seconds to heat that tip up to glowing. We'll let that cool back down. Let's hit it with some more oxygen. So super oxidizing flame. A little bit slower, about 4 or 5 seconds on that to get it to glow. And then a really soft reduction flame is kind of on the same side of the spectrum. Both of those are cold. When it's oxidizing like that, you're forcing so much air in there that it's actually cooling the flame down. It's still hot as shit. Like we wouldn't want to put our hand in there, but the atmosphere is generally cold in terms of glass. Some of the colors that we use, like the cadmium colors, the things that are really solid, like a very heavy oxidizing flame, because if you heat them up too quickly, the cadmium goes from a solid straight to a gas. It doesn't have a liquid state in between. That's called sublimation. And it shows by boiling. So it'll just literally bubble, like all the glass just bubbles and it's like falling apart. Forgot what the soft fluffy. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, a lot slower than that neutral flame. let's get you to watch me make a heart. And then we'll see how comfortable you're feeling on gathering up some glass, and then decide if you'll go through the whole process of trying to carve one up as well. Make it with amber purple. Why not? Wherever you're comfortable. I'm the last person that you will offend or get too close to. If you want to get up all in my bubble, that's totally fine with me. Make sure that you're able to see and hear. That's about it. Let's get some scissors. I have made 2 of these, so I can't promise you this is going to be a smooth journey.
You're like,
Whenever you start with any material, when the ends have been mechanically cut, it's been snapped, it's very prone to bubbling. There are ways you can avoid, like you can really heat it up slowly and try to avoid any bubbling happening, but it's very, very common. So really those ends are just trash. You want to heat it up and then grab hold of it and start pulling it away, cut it in the fire, and then just drop that in the water. I still see a little bit of bubbling in there. The glow will kind of tell you how hot your glass is. It's tough because like as you move from one color to the next, the glow changes a little bit. But it's not gonna move if it's not pretty much looking like lava. It will slowly move if it is hot enough before that state. But there's like a very small window of where or when borosilicate wants to start moving for you. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna use the foot pedal for the outer stage at all today. We'll start off just on the links. Once we get past all our hearts, that Billy will do some large stuff, I'm sure, and then get into that foot pedal zone. This color, amber purple, has a lot of gold and silver in it. And there's like this kind of cloudiness on the surface as we start heating it up. You can actually watch that start to disappear the hotter it gets. That's what you want to happen with amber purple. You have to burn that haze away. That's the silver creating like a haze or a cloud. Once you've burned it off, it will come back, or you can bring it back. That's what we call striking. Striking is a term used in glass a lot, and it refers to the color appearing or changing. Some of these colors, like what we're holding, start off looking completely different from what they'll end up like. And some of them start off the same way that they will end up like, but in the midst of working them, they go clear or they'll change to other color tones. So we're just going to heat up and get a little bit of a gather going. And then I'll just use this pedal. Holding at 90 degrees, like parallel, is going to keep things where they're at. Dropping your elbow and lowering that end is going to allow things to start falling. Your 2 biggest tools that you have are heat and gravity. So use both of those to your advantage. The flame and where your glass is sitting in the flame are going to help control what's moving. you have to heat up the glass that you want to move and the area that you want it to move to in order for it to do that. When it comes to collecting a gather on the end of a rod like this, the best information I can give you is that if you heat up close to the neck, it's going to start falling and it's going to get really wobbly really quickly. And if you heat up at the face, it's going to start to gather and collect. When you heat up glass, it naturally wants to go round. We rotate to fight gravity. So if I stop rotating, it's just going to fall. So then I flip it over and try and find that center point. If you feel like it's getting out of control, you can come out of the flame, slow it down a little bit, and then come back into it, start heating it back up and moving it quicker. And then you kind of slowly, it's almost like brushing the flame across the glass to like slowly move it instead of like just coming back here and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, 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 if that makes sense. But the whole time you got to stay spinning. And the spin is an interesting one. It's, you're holding overhand and it's like more of your pointer finger and your thumb. And then the rest of those fingers are just there to kind of run and support along it. So you do this like overhook thing and the glass is like constantly falling in your hand, but you're just twisting. So I can practice with that while we're chilling. It can be hard also. Like sometimes I'm really unsteady. So you'll see me reach like this and create just a spot for that to sit on. And it's just stability. It's probably viewed as a bad habit by a bunch of artists. Might be one of those pride or ego things, but
You know, your product turns out the way you want.
I do it a lot.
Yeah.
Yep. But I having not had any real like formal lessons myself, I probably have a bunch of bad habits. All right, so once we got it as much glass as we want gathered, which is about like that, just a decent little marble. You're gonna get them real hot, and then come out of the fire and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Set them down and just give them a flat. And I'm not pressing. I was like letting the paddle fall, maybe with a little bit of weight behind it. And it should go nice and smooth and even like that. Once you have your lollipop, your forbidden lollipop heated up, this is one of those moments that like, if you just want to heat up the top, this flame is a little much unless we're sitting like right on the outside of the flame. Yeah, so let's crank this guy down, tighten up that blue to give us a real precise shot of where we want. And then we're just gonna fucking heat up the top half of this cookie or lollipop and cut it straight down the center. It's gonna kind of make 2 butt cheeks.
Lollipop.
Lollipop butt cheeks. Who don't love lollipop butt cheeks? Woo. Careful when you cut because it'll stuff will pop off on you sometimes. So after you cut it, just go right back in and heat it up just a little bit. You're not trying to get it molten, but those edges where it was just cut, they have like this textured strip down both sides. So blast it just until they're smooth like that. And then this is where I would probably say heat and gravity are the 2 tools that you'll use. So right now, I'm just going to focus on this one butt cheek side. On my right hand, I'm going to hold it above the flame like this. And then I'll switch left hand and same motion. And I'm just telling it I want it to be over there on that half. Don't want it falling into the other cheek that we just made. Come out, let it sit for a second because it's still going to be hot. And if I go back in on the other one, that radiant heat could keep it at a spot where it's going to be soft and wanting to move. So it's good to be patient. It's good to come out, let things set up before you just go right back in and keep melting away because it'll move a lot faster than you'd think. Once glass starts moving, it wants to move.
It's when it stops, it's likes to bed and you think, oh,
Exactly. And I can tell it's probably a little too like far spread for how short it's going to end up being. So maybe I'll try and melt those a little closer together and get the body of it to thicken up a little bit. And to do that, I'm going to point the flame at the spots that are already thick that I want to thin out and have them high so that the glass that's getting heated is falling out of that area. And again, it's kind of like painting. I'm like hitting that top part and then bringing it down with the flame because it's going to follow the heat as it goes. I'm just trying to be really deliberate about what on the piece is being touched by the flame. Oh, that's a little better. Okay, so from here, I think the move is taking your clear, which is going to be the bale, and we'll do this proper. Heat up the end, take off the trash. You want both pieces kind of equally hot. This one's going to heat it really quickly. I'm more concerned with getting enough heat into the top of where this is going to stick to so that they can become one when I'm ready. And I want that glow. See how the glow is like almost the same color right before I touched them? Yep. And that's how they'll become one piece instead of two pieces. You won't have that seam in the middle. And then I'm just tearing off a little glob, hanging it away from the body of the pendant because I don't want it falling into it, but I want it to collect. And then we're going to grab that little ball. Hold it for a second. And then it's like a swivel motion. What it's doing is that little wall that just pinched in between, it's grinding it until that glass breaks out. Then you come back in, heat it up. Just a little bit of heat. I'm not getting it like molten. Pinch again. Just kind of move it around so it's got some more space. And then what you can see is I've got a really thick side and a thin side. If I blast the whole thing and go back in there and go to stretch it, that thin side is going to be hotter than the thick side is because of the nature of the glass. So I'm going to come up underneath and try and get just that thick side blasted. And then when I grab it, and stretch it, that thick side stretches, but the thin almost stayed exactly where it was. And that's again one of those concepts of like heat the glass that you want to move, and then it will move for you. But be very aware and deliberate about where you're focusing that heat, and it will forever favor you. And now I'm going to come back in and just give it a little bit of heat all around. It's not like glowing, but I know it's warm enough to take a little bit of movement. And so it's baby steps, little heat, little push and twist. I got that thing open now. I'm just going to repeat that process. So I'm happy with the shape. Doing this will also help kind of balance out that thick and thin side. When I stretch it all out and then melt it and let it collapse back down, I can tilt and control where it's starting to flow. Oh. If it gets too small for your tool, just switch. Grab something else. I'm kind of manhandling it at that point, like just moving it, forcing it where I want it to go, because I know I'm gonna, in the end, heat it up and then use this, try and get that really nice round shape. It's a little thin on that backside, so I was just blasting that with heat, trying to like encourage some glass to move over to it. I'm a shaky motherfucker, so one of the tricks is tucking your elbows in, get tight on your body, and it'll help you. If you're out here, you don't have this stability. Your muscles are like all relying on themselves, so get that skeletal structure, and then the bottom of your breath when you've like exhaled completely, you naturally stabilize. Your whole body just like goes into a rest state, and you'll be really, really steady then. So if you're shooting for something like that, you know your timing is about to be like, okay, I'm heating this up. That hole is closing. I can't put too much heat into it because it's will close completely. So it's like a heat, hit it. And like all in that motion, I can kind of get it with one breath, if that makes sense. All right, now we have a bale. We're going to cold seal to the bale. So the bale still has heat. I wouldn't want to pinch this with my fingers right now, but it's not glowing. It's not super hot. I'm going to get the handle that I want attached to it molten at the tip. This marver is really good for being able to help re-round and clean stuff up like that. So if it's getting all crazy on you, you can come down. When you hit it, pull away as you're rotating it, and it will help kind of bring it forward. You go forward into it, you could fold it up under itself, kind of thing. But I'm going to make sure that the bale is hot, too hot to touch, but not glowing. And then this molten piece is going to stick right on there, and then we just chill. I'm not pulling, I'm not pushing. It's just resting on there. These rods are kind of like swinging free in my hand. If I tap this one too hard, it'll pop off. And so that's where you don't want to like, you're not trying to like fight this thing. You're just exactly, exactly. So it's glowing. I'm gonna let that cool for a second. While that's cooling down, I can heat this tip, time it just right, tag it, and just rotate. And then while that's rotating, we can go right in and start heating up the bottom of the heart to tear it away. But I'm going to let a little bit more glass gather down here just because the body feels kind of thin. Yeah, I can always tear off more later on rather than trying to add more later on and then tear it back down. Yeah. And then literally the rest is just like your aesthetic. Make it how you want based on what you feel like a heart should look like. Heart. It actually looks like a torso or like a lower waist almost.
Guess it definitely looks like a nice heart that way. Wait.
Yeah. I want a little bit more of a pointy tip to my heart. So we're gonna tear off just a little more. I'm heating into the body a decent bit, but when I touch this, I'm gonna wait before pulling because I want that glass to kind of cool down, creates this skin, and it'll pull out much more evenly. I can get that nice taper that I'm going for. Boom. That's a heart. And then the cool part is when you're done, hold it over the pad and then just tap it off of the cold seal. Your cold seal, if it's done right, it should just come off real easy. And then when you go back in, there's this tiny little spot right there. Yeah. And you just flame polish it and bam, it's a heart. I know, yeah, we throw it in the kiln. You're done with glass. It needs to anneal. Holy shit, Johnny. I did not realize that thing was filthy.
He was like, I'm gonna clean my finger. Children. Crazy.
Look, there it is, floating around in the air. Oh my god, I still see it.
That's wild. There's burn.
Here you go. You see it?
That Chinese like that man struggle. Just floating resin. Burn.
It'll cook off in a minute. At 1050, carbon will remove itself from glass. How are you feeling? You feel confident? I'll give it a whirl. Questions. What kind of questions might you have, even as basic as you might feel it is?
Can't think of any right.
I say you give it a shot then. A Roy. You got a lighter? Or did I steal it from you? All right.
What's on there?
Say again.
Just feel good for
That looks perfect.
and just for using.
Yes, sir. And it won't get hot. Like this I could hold it essentially right here, and it's my fingers that are going to get hot from the flame rather than the rod getting hot at all. Use the tweezers to pull. Yeah. Yes, sir. Those are the only ones. Those are tungsten tipped tweezers, so those are the only ones that are safe to get near the tip of the flame, or like near the flame itself. Remember to constantly rotate that thing. Most people rotate towards themselves. Cut it in the fire. So yeah, there you go. If you pull it, it'll stretch and it'll just keep stretching into like hair outside of the fire. Always make your cuts in the flame.
I just get them for pickleball.
Yes, sir. Constant rotation. Keep spinning towards you. Don't stop. There you go. See how it's kind of doing like a mushroom cap thing? That's the exaggerated angle. And the more you heat into the handle, the faster it's going to collect at a slower angle, if that makes sense too. Or a lower, steep, less steep angle. Words are hard. Do you want the torch a little bit lower? Yeah. Okay. Feel comfy. Try keeping it at like a 90 and then get in there with it. Don't be afraid of that fire. Go a little further out in the flame though, and I'll slow it down for you. There you go. And remember to heat towards the face to round it, towards the back to get it bigger. So if it starts getting away or folding on you like that, go back to high elbow. Yep. But you got to heat it all up. Would you believe me if I told you you're not getting hot enough to change it? It's sometimes deceiving where the heat in the flame is. So that's the other thing you'll start learning is like that outside edge is warm, but it's not hot. Once you get into the middle of the fire, that's where like your line is, and you'll start feeling and finding where it's really affecting the change. Say again. Hold it at 90. There you go. A little bit of an angle. There you go. Feel how much quicker that was collecting doing it like that. Now back to 90. Get it back to round. Sometimes if it folds over too heavy, you can trap a bubble underneath there. So just keep rotating, don't stop, but keep it in right on the middle. All right, now come out and keep rotating. And you can use your rotations like when that high spot comes around, slow down for a second, let it fall, and then keep rotating.
I was smoking cigarettes, patio. I was drinking beer with a friend. I was trying to boogie down and down.
How does it feel on your rings? I can't wear a bubble ring. I've broken too many things off of a cold seal with it. Like rotate, tap. Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably.
Here, can I show you something real quick? So keeping the ball itself in the middle, that rating is going to kick into the handle first because it's smaller, and it'll start rounding back out naturally. Then we start, as it does that, you can start kind of out a little bit, but still keeping that front of the ball in there. And it should still keep doing the same thing. That rating is eventually going to catch up to that handle. If it's going too slow, you can get a little angle on it and see how that gathers, starting to collect where it was wrinkled right there. So just kind of this back and forth. The middle of the ball is going to be your friendliest spot to blast that heat, and just letting the splash of it kick over here and a little angle down to bring it just at a good consistent pace for you. So do just the face of the ball. Try the front half at a 90. There you go. And that's a good size. Just once you get it back to center and round, is when we'll get ready to give it a nice match.
I was drinking beer with a friend. I was trying to boogie down and night. Rocking like a spot. It's all again. I was smoking cigarettes with a patio.
What do you fit with that here?
So the same way I did a go attach to the ball, but keep it in the same spot the whole time. Don't get the rod in there anymore. You're too far in.
More like this.
No, too far. So like half of it all on. Yeah. But you just gotta keep it in the same spot. You're like kind of doing it all over. It's just gonna be tough to like get your hands used to that motion of holding it still, not think you're in the fire at all. There you go. And make sure you have any downward angle on this. It's going to allow that to keep falling onto the wrinkle. So you almost want to let it drip away as opposed to coming this way, and if that makes sense. So keep that up here. So it's falling. Got in the fire. There you go. And then get a little bit further away from the face. There you go. Starting to see the change a little bit in it. Virgin. Come back to 8. There you go. Get you low. Well, behind, sorry. Keep rotating. All right, let me save you a little bit. Get this guy straightened out real quick, and then I'll let you do the deep smash. Right. So now the heat into like the top half, the face of the ball. Yeah, not keep it like, yeah, there you go. Keep rotating, keep rotating. And once we get the ball all hot, then you'll take this and you'll just go parallel with the pad and mash. And after we come out of the fire, we're going to do a 6 count. Ready. And out. 1, 2, keep rotating. 3, 4, 5. Lay it down. Stick a paddle on it. Get it flat. Not at an angle. Get it flat. Mash it. All right, heat it up and mash it again. All right, that's good. And 1, 2, we're gonna go to 4, 3, 4, mash. Few minutes up the lollipop. All right, let it cool for just a sec. And then find your scissors over there. And then we're still with our gathering flame. So let's go ahead and change up just a little bit. Tighten that thing so that you can heat just the top half really effectively. Oh, no, you had it right. Come back off of that just a little bit and go a little bit more on the blue. There you go. And you can even bring the red down some if you want. Other way. There we go. Perfect. And that's just giving you that nice control. You want to heat like top half to the top third area, like however much that you want to cut for your butt. But if it's not, like if the area that you want cut is not like absolutely glowing, it's not going to go anywhere. And then if you spend too much time trying to heat it up, you're going to round it back into a marble too. So get that heat in that top half and then get it out of there. A little bit more, like get in there. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And then when you go to cut, hold vertical so it's upside down. It's just easier to see your center point there. All right. Hang it and snip it. There you go. Check it out, dude. We're getting there. Trust the process. Yeah, you want to clean up those little like jagged edges that are in between butt cheeks now. Right, right. So it's like little blasts. And now you can, like I was doing, pick one, let it fall out away from the other. You might have to kind of switch hands so that you can get the angle and still keep it below the flame. There you go. And you really over exaggerate your gravity. Like you want it to go a direction, that has to be straight down. It's like a Rubik's Cube. You gotta like twist and figure out like, okay, what the fuck angles am I looking at? Like, where do I want things to go? Right. Yeah. And pick one until you're done with it. Don't go back and forth. Get one where you want it to be and then match the other. We can always kind of touch it and pull a little bit if we need, or we can carve with a knife a deeper uh, crevice. End goal is to be to bust out 3 of these in 45 minutes. Talk to me real quick. Know what you're trying to do. Use this point.
Yeah. Back apple.
Okay. So heat up the glass that you want moving, and then where you want it to move. So the fire is like your paintbrush. If the way you're painting it, you're moving it into the body. So if you want it to move out this way, get that side down, like all the way down, like flip it.
Fine.
Like, so if that side needs to fall this way, you got to heat up that glass. Can I hop over here real quick? You got to heat up that glass back there and say, that's where I want you to go, down. Otherwise, it's just going to stay right where it was. See that? Is that more than cool? Okay, cool. What you want to do with the fountain?
Oh, yeah. Great.
Okay.
Well, I just proposed. And then, what now? Other ones. I like it.
Nice.
Here.
Oh, we got. There's a lot of good right here. All of that, what ended up moving up for that one, when we heat it up straight into the body there and let it fall out. It's gonna fall into it that way, though. So come that way, and you can switch hands. Like you don't want to cross here. Stop real quick. You don't want to cross the equator. So this is your line. If you're on the right side, it's right-handed. If you're over here, it's left-handed. Arms don't go under or over the flame ever, because you will burn the living shit out of yourself. Crossing the equator, flip it. There you go. Yep. And this is where I was talking about, like, just being very deliberate with where that flame is hitting to be able to paint the glass where you want it to go. See, that's the gravity is saying this is down, it's going to fall and group over to that side if you have it sitting like that. Switch hands. There you go.
I'll let you down.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's already 10 times faster and better than you did the other side. Learning leaps and bounds. Did you feel the difference on that one? Yeah. I think that's what I mean when I'm saying Rubik's Cube. It's like it really is these weird fucking angles. It's like it's solid, but it's liquid once it gets to a certain point.
Yeah, like it's halfway to solid. Figure out what color the liquid is solid. Yeah.
Shit, that second side actually looks better than the first one. So you could now flip it, rotate it in your hand. So look at it from that side still and bring that back down into it.
Okay.
So heat up at the knob and allow it to fall over instead of down this way. Yeah, yeah. And you'll have a lot of ability to play with the bottom taper once we get a bail on there and you start pulling it off of the handle. So right now you're really just focused on the butt. Yeah. Hell yeah. Better than my first one. How you feeling?
Good. First.
Borrow a little bit of heat from you real quick. Dang it. It's just in a few pieces now. There's one in my canvas bag on the ground right there you can have. That's okay. The center is not going to matter at this point because that's the bottom. That's bouncing back and forth like that. You are keeping a lot of radiant heat in it, so it is likely to just mass back up into a marble.
That's where you want to go.
Yeah. Shit, yours looks better than the second one I ever did too. This is the second one. Cool. Ready for a veil on it? All right. So grab your clear. This guy here. And then we'll want to clean up the end first so you can set him down. And then when you grab this one, don't come down below the flame. Get your tweezers up there. Get back in the fire as soon as you grab it. There you go. Beautiful. Fuck yeah. That was exactly what I was looking for. All right. Now your heart. And you're gonna don't worry about that tip anymore. It's good. You're gonna figure out what side you want that on, and you're gonna superheat that spot exactly where it's gonna stick. Hang on before you do anything, and then you're gonna have that other rod hot as well. Those you want to match color right before they stick together. And when you touch them and hang out for a second. Just keep rotating. Don't keep mashing and don't pull away. Right. If you mash too hard, you're going to have this big gather on the top that you're not going to be able to get the shape you want out of it. If you pull away, you're going to thin it all out, and it's not going to, you're going to have to essentially start back over from scratch. At least adding the clear on there. So just a small area on the tip of this one pot. This landing pad, the same color as that right when they stick. Think you got it? All right. Rotate that handle that's in your left hand the whole time too. Once you stick it, you can stop rotating. All right, stick it. Pull away just a little. Beautiful. Fuck yeah, dude. All right, and you're gonna come away, go up about a ½ inch into the clear rod. Yep. So use the flame, hit a ½ inch up on the clear. That's like 2 inches. Go a ½ inch. Yeah, and tear that off right there. A little less. Nope, like there. There you go. Beautiful. You get rid of that clear handle. And then this, you're going to gather into another marble. This is kind of a weird game. Have you ever had a toaster strudel? All right, you know when you fucking get those suckers out of the toaster and they're still really hot and you put icing on it and it's like falling all over every side and you're trying to like eat it? That's the game you're about to try and play. You don't want that to collect onto the heart. The spot that you hit, that's the only clear that you really want attached to the heart. The rest of that, you want to get to be this gather that's sitting on the corner, more or less, like that. Um, and once we've got that gather, that's when we'll switch to that grabby tool and try and squeeze a little hole in it. And this one is less, you've already noticed, less of the rotations and more of this like toaster strudel dance, balancing that icing. Yeah. How do you feel like you're doing?
All right.
I would agree. I think you're doing a really good job of like focusing that heat where it needs to be. It's taking longer than it would take me, but that's totally understandable. This is the first time ever trying this. It like once you get plenty of repetition down, it's one of those things that like you don't think about the little things.
It's all like a feeling.
Yeah. All right, now bring it out for a second, and I'm going to show you something before we get too into anything else. What we have is called an acute angle. So if you look between the clear and the purple, where it's like got this like you can see the obvious tag.
Like clear.
Right. That means we have two separate pieces of glass still. To make those one, we have to go in right around that little lip and really just force the melt there. I'm going to give you this. I'm going to light it for you because it can be a little tricky. And what you're going to do is you're just going to focus that flame right there on that scene and chase it in a circle. But you can get this guy real close to it. Yes, perfect. And sit in one spot until they touch. There you go. And that's what you're chasing. So that scene, it's like zipping a bag almost. Like you there. Beautiful. Fuck yes. Boom, you're done. That's it. So the uh, seam is now gone. You don't have to worry about that glob being melted down anymore if you don't want. You could pinch the bail there and have that little bit of like kind of a space or a taper between your connection and then where the loop starts. So that makes sense. But I'm gonna just let you keep doing what you're doing. I trust you. Questions so far?
Yeah. But now ready to be
Yeah. And remember to stay out a little bit further from the candles. The candles are really aggressive on your glass. If you've ever noticed like the bubbles that start kind of coming at the surface when you're in there, that's a big reason. And that is hot enough to squeeze if you want it to. But you can also like if you're like, nah, I kind of want to get the shape a little bit different. I totally understand. Okay. You can get it to like keep marbling it down, keep collecting it until it is a little ball on the corner, and then you can pinch that and it'll clean up real nice. And see how it's trying to fold. Think about the outside. Dangle it, let it drain all the way. All right, stop rotating for a second. Just let it hang low at the bottom. There you go. Rotating is only going to keep things on center. So it's not really like you're.
Not all the way.
Yeah, yeah. And remember that once you pinch it, the shape of the whole ball is going to change too. So you have some ability to kind of play with where it sits.
I think I like that.
Cool.
Get it hotter.
Yep. And you could pitch it now. Yeah, yeah.
And pipe through.
Yep. Try. Oh.
I don't think.
All right, leg up, leg up. Open it and then just melt it back to a ball. It's hard. I have such a struggle getting it on center with the pinch. And that tool, let me give you a better one. This one's mine and it's got no springs in it. And it is still hot enough to pinch now if you want to try it again. Come out, let it sit for a second. 1, 2, 3, go. And now pinch, hold it tight. When you swivel, follow the direction, yeah, and just do like half of the clock kind of thing. There you go. All right, now blast it with some more heat. Check it real quick, see if the hole is open. No, not quite. So a little bit more heat and then another pinch and twist. That's good. That's good. And you're through. There you go. So see the big section up at the top, heat just that up. So get just the tip of that in there and then grab again and start stretching to move that out.
Grab higher.
With the same tool. Yeah. No. Pinch through the same hole. Same hole, sorry. And then pull.
Oh,
Yeah, feeling good. And that's allowing the bottom to stay put, but you're trying to stretch that top portion out so you have an opening. All right, that's good. Again. Cool. And now keep the and push this, just too much heat. Push that into the tip. And then switch sides so that you're not pushing the bail like off center or off one edge. A little bit more heat. Oh, that's open.
no talking for this.
Yeah, it works. And if you're happy, next step is that cold seal, where we tag a handle to it and then disconnect. Use the same one they use.
Already pretty right or
Yeah, it's already good. And cold seal, like it's not a temporary, it's not a permanent connection, so it's really not like a big deal.
so then.
So this is hot. We want it to stay hot, but we want that to be molten when it tags onto it.
Okay.
And a trick for that is while you're getting that rod hot, keep this near the flame so that that heat stays where you want it to be. And I would say tag not onto the loop, but onto the other butt cheek side. All right, and that's too much heat into your handle. See how it's like a whole marble on the end? Imagine just heating up the face of that little marble to tag it. Yeah. All right, go for it. And then get your handle centered. Like pull where you want it. Yeah, keep them straight. Rotate, both. Remember, this is the one that will pop up. So go ahead and get your feet into the heart now. Oh, oh, it's your ring. Okay. Uh, that noise, man, it throws me off every time. And then that's it. Remember to do those tears in the flame. Tear it in the flame. There you go. You can set that one down now. Yep. And then to tear things off, we'll switch to another clear. This one's a little long. Grab that other one. It's over there. Yeah. It's more comfortable for you. And you don't have to heat that one up. Just heat up the heart and then grab as you're heating it up and tear what you want to win. But do it in the fire. Keep them both in the fire the whole time. More so the heart. Remember, heat up what you want and tear it away. If you're heating up this, that's going to tear it into the heart. So heat up the heart and rip it. There you go. Yeah, hang this guy off real quick. Those hairs are really dangerous because you can inhale them. They can get your fingers really easily. And one of the tricks here, so turn this like a pencil. Okay. Now that you're like doing this kind of motion, you can rotate like that still, but this is going to be like keeping you in line. So, or you could turn it like that and go from the side, and as you're melting, be like tearing away that way. Else out here. With the heart. Cool. That's a heart. Remember how to get it off again. So hold the heart over the graphite. Keep it up high. And then tap the handle. And then grab the tweezers. I'd use the tweezers. It'll just be easier to hold. And then what you'll do is pick it up, use the corner that we were just attached to, and then clean up the corner that we were just attached to, rather. I would switch hands and then come against the front. Yeah, there you go. And see that little spot that's glowing a little bit different? That's what you're getting. Just that. Boom. Golden. Squeeze. Squeeze the red handle. Yep. There you go. Sorry, it gets twisty in there on the hands. How you feel? Sorry, I'll let you turn it off. That one's already off. Oh, that's all the way up. There you go. Nicely done. Nicely done. All right, I'm gonna run Pete real quick, get some water, and then we'll run it back again. Do you want to hold this while I get Pete? So not everyone's listening to me. Oh, sure. I don't know how to. I don't think Sneak attack. Do it. Joe with Taco Bell run. Great. I didn't know what order was put in.
Like it could knock on the door.
Uh-huh.
You're right.
Do you want to do another round of watch and repeat, or do you feel confident enough in the memory of the steps and just like, let me just fucking walk through this thing?
Rather want to do it again.
Fuck yeah.
See like what I would do. See like what I could do.
When you
know, but I think it would be better.
Yeah. So this was something I probably didn't mention. When you go to close these valves, being needle control valves, they're very like precise fit valves type thing, and they can be broken by cranking on them. So just turn it until it stops, and then that's it. It doesn't take a like tightening or anything. And when you go to turn them on, they should pop open pretty easy. But they can slip away from you, and like sometimes you'll fire that up and be like, oh fuck, propane's like all the way open, but it's okay. We have the ventilation going. Like I could literally crack the propane. We could sit here for a minute talking, and we'd be like, oh wait, there's something open. Yeah, but it's good to be mindful of. This is just Billy got in on that Taco Bell. He's gonna give him shit.
Talk about I had a walk.
Your flame will get pretty big. Like the Lynx flame, you can crank this sucker up and have a raging thing going. But again, you're kind of matching the flame to the job that you're doing. I'm heating way down into the rod, and I'm at this really exaggerated angle because I trust my ability to maintain a pretty fast paced rotation. But you can see even with doing that, like it gets off every now and then. And it's a battle of like placing that heat right where I want it and catching up to what it's doing. But I'm also kind of abusing this glass right now. If you see the surface of it, it's pretty bubbly. Amber purple is pretty forgiving of the color in general. But there's some colors that would not tolerate this at all. Oh, they wouldn't be a color, like there wouldn't be anything left. It just break down. It's crazy. I'll show you one in a minute. No, it wasn't to the point of like you no longer have glass. All right. Nah. Let her set. You know, get a nice tight little flame going. I didn't talk about this either. When it's flat, the rules for rotating are a little bit different because of how the heat is being placed into it. So you really want to do like half, 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 half. I'm just going to let it chill for a second because it's got so much heat in it. Even blow on it, set it up, and then inside edge, done. Inside edge, done. Super simple. And doesn't matter which one you pick. Just pick one. That's where we'll start. And I'm gonna hang it so that it's falling this way, opening. And it's still moving for a second. I'm not rotating it. I'm just deciding where I want that movement to take it.
I think it's blocking the railing for some.
Yeah, yeah. All right, I'm gonna switch hands to the other side. Again, I'm ambidextrous, so I might do a lot of this like off. Well, I might do a lot of it off one hand, and you might watch and be like, "That looks really fucking." Like you might think like that would feel really weird for me to try and do that way. If that's the case, don't be afraid to like switch your hands up, get like tricky with it.
Wait,
But I think I want it to close up a little bit more. I don't like as spread as them cheeks is.
I closed the cheek to the heart. So you find the middle of the front, right?
Yeah. And it's almost like I'm heating up that center point as equally as I'm heating up that outside point. Do the same on the other side now.
If it's all each equally, then it is something grabbing.
Yep. A little better. We'll go with it. Did you say crazy?
Yeah.
Oh. Get in there. Smaller flame, because we're just going to try and hit this one little corner. So why not get more focused with our objective? Same color and stick them. Just kind of let it chill for a second. And then heat up right above it, about a half inch or so. That bicycle motion will help you get a nice tear off without having tails or strings. Yeah. Bring it back to the heart, but not on the heart.
Taking them opposite ways. All right.
Yes. And this is that toaster strudel icing game. I'm just kind of like, oh, don't fall off the fucking edge, you know? And then it's still really hot. I can pinch it and move it, but I want it about right there. Oh, see what I mean? It's so shaky. And if you can pinch all the way, you see that? Like, oh, there we go. Um, all of that texture in the middle was essentially the broken glass. That was like what you are doing with that tool. Did any of that land on you? Okay. I'm just gonna rip this little piece of clear off. Yeah. Hold seal. It's been a second since any of the heart was in fire, so just to make sure it's hot, I put a little bit of glow in it and then bring it out. Just let it chill.
So you know it's somewhat important. Yeah.
Stick it. Tear it off. Maybe gather a little bit. You know what? Tear it off. Don't get complicated. Did you see how that landed in there? It's like standing up like that. It was wild. All right. Before you light that, will you hold that in your hand and tell me if that's a comfortable enough distance from the flame you think for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Because it's going to get about 2 inches shorter. Okay. I remember saying, yeah, boom, fucking read my mind. Literally read my mind. I was about to be like, you know how you like turn off a little bit and like find the threshold? It's really about finding that little threshold where it's like it's open technically, but it's like really not affecting the body of it until you're like, okay, now I want to fucking get precise with that thing. And the nice thing about that is because it's open, now it's really easy to fine tune. You can like slowly go through that range.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't even worry about it. It's fairly clean. It was what I was going to collect down in and did not. And the one stringer that I pulled out of it, there was only a small hair that I melted back in. So do you have any song requests? What's your favorite song right now?
I don't know actually. I do that up for reasonable. Probably.
Say it one more time. Ultimate. Yeah. Still in paint.
Yeah.
So keep it on that 90 or even slightly be like, is that greater or less than 90? Would you call it? Okay, cool. And that'll help you like see how quickly you just went back to like we're in a ball. Exactly. And you can kind of put that back and forth, but like you strike. It's like, okay, wait, it's folding. But as soon as it folds, like you may as well just get as much even with that thing as you can and turn it back into yeah. Um, it's kind of the same, but you just have to go slower. Like I was going really quickly, so I've done it a few times. And it's painful. Use the excuse me, use the very the plane at the front of the ball back to the edge or like back to the side that you want it as you're rotating. And then stay at 90, keep rotating. Come out of the plane. And now slowly start the front until the heat gradient starts the back moving. Like the front's gonna get hot and start moving, that's fine. Like keep it on just the front. Stay in one spot. Don't like let it go back and forth. But get in the plane. Rotate. Just the front. Further handle. There you go. See how the heat is working its way through the ball. It just takes a second because it's so much thicker at that front and middle than it is where the handle is. Don't stop rotating. It'll do it. Just trust. Stay at 90 degrees. And maintain the 90 from here on. A little bit more. And the flip. Perfect. Stay right. Oh, too much. There you go. Yeah, see it happening. I come out and play a little bit. You can when you have heat back into the handle like that, if you rotate really quickly, if it's a little bit off, it's gonna want to fling that direction. So you can slow your rotation down, but you just have to keep rotating. Like you can't have those pause moments. You just have to like allow them. hand to just keep running as much as you can. But again, same process. You start at the front again, and then work you back into the handle until it starts moving. Slow your some. Stay at 90 degrees because you have a little bit of downward angle. It's going to keep falling back. And you got to stay in the plane. Keep at least the front half of the ball on the plane the whole time. Don't bring it out again. Stay at 90. Just the front half. That's good. About ready to match. You start to feel a little bit of the differences and like when you rotate quick and it wants to do that versus like kind of feeling how soon it's wanting to fall. One of the things I have to remember remind myself a lot when I'm in the plane is like as long as it's in the fire, it's collecting heat, but only where the fire is and like briefly into the radiant areas around it. If you put more in, that radiant area grows and the angle changes. Like if it's moving or not. If you stay in the middle and you stay at 90 degrees, it will just stay or try and fall back to the center and stay in this ground form. But I haven't taken this one and corrected it once, and you've had a nice like ground center for a while.
That's okay. It's like the flavor on it, but
That's okay, because when you smash it, like it's gonna be like fairly centered. Yeah. As long as it's not like hanging off of one side and you smash it out that way, you know, you can even like as you're smashing, you can drag the handle to kind of bring it on the center point more.
I think it's like
And your paddle is on the yeah. Yeah, 6 counts good. 6 is a good number. 3, 6, 7, 9. People everything. So keep that handle flat But yeah, put a little more enter. Try to get it. Nice, good memory. And it's up to you, like you're like, I want to fucking spread that thing out more. Like you can keep smashing, go for it. You're gonna end up condensing a lot of it back together anyway. Like when you heat it up, it's regathering. It's a good look. How's it taste? I burnt my tongue the other day at the demo on a blow tube after I flame polished. Well, I cut the shit out of my lip, and so I was like, "Oh, I better flame polish the handle." Like flame polished the handle on something, flipped it around, connected it up to the tube, and like 10 seconds later, it was just like, it's like it's to the max.
Now I just cut right.
Yep. And remember, we're in a lollipop, so you got two sides to heat, front and back, not the edges. Let's chill for a second. And inside edge, inside edge. Yeah, good call. Yeah. And you can even like, it's fairly small. So if you want to turn the propane down a little bit more and then bring your oxygen on the green to match that. Other way. Yep. And remember, one at a time. It's going to confuse your brain which direction they turn because you're using both hands. Come back off of that a little bit. A little more. There you go. Inside it, inside it. And I changed hands because it's easier to approach from the other side on the other one whenever I did it. Taking cheap things. Is that toaster strudel? Okay, cool. It's like run my and make a flat for so long. I grew up with strudels. I'll still fucking shout that fuck. Like where you go, but yeah, I'm an apple boy. Yeah. Do you like the strawberry cream or just the strawberry? Okay. I fucks with them. And don't forget that you can paint with the flame. You can like start and move it. Start and move it. That's where I would switch hands and then approach it from that side because you flip it over again, and but still keep it at that angle because you're trying to take it that way.
Hey,
Yeah, you got lot of material on one side versus the other. You can always like whenever you connect up the bail and everything, when you go to pull it off the handle, fix some of that. If you bring the other side back down into that really thick side now. So come out and let it chill for a sec. Keep chilling. That big thick section is going to hold for the longest. We don't want it to move. We want all of that to stay put where it's at. And then we're going to end up feeding from the top down to bring it in a little. But you're going to want to hang it so that it, as it's doing that, it's trying to fall towards that inside edge. So this is going to be the bottom, essentially. But you have to start high, like start with that at the top, like this, and start painting that way, and then encourage it to go like that as you do. That way it's falling down onto itself and then over onto the other side to gather and still keep it shape. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah, look at that. And then now, like, whenever we have a handle on there, tearing that off is going to give you a nice little like pointed paper at the bottom.
right. Well, bitch,
There you go.
Imagine having a hero a little better shape. I think this down around the later.
What you got, Mike?
Like, hey, this would look better getting dragged out of that. And I feel like it's dragged out of the world.
How do you mean?
Like the bulk of ear pulled up a little, the mask of the ear height.
Where are you imagining the bottom is on?
Like this thick part coming to the top there.
Are you picturing the bottom point coming off right here?
Yeah.
Do you think that
I think
heating it and taking, like, once you connect up the bail and then heating it and pulling the bottom off this way would stretch and give the illusion that that is kind of this, the length of that, and we may bring some of that over?
Yeah.
That's, I think, the route I might take with it. But if you see or feel like you have a different vision for it, do what you trust. And feel free to ask questions about, like, I want this to go to here. How do I do that? You really want to stretch that out, don't you?
Yeah, like
All right, then keep it where it's at. Exaggerate the point down on it and blast it with heat. It's not, you don't have enough heat in it to get it moving yet. But stay out of the flame a little. Further out, away from the candle.
left like lopsided.
So, ready for a bail?
This
That'll do it. Tip looks clean enough. And if you want, this is an even smaller precision target, so you can adjust your flame again to tighten it up and make it a little smaller. And one hand to top. Keep the other hand like
just aware.
Yeah. Good habit is keep this one up rotating, just for practice of things. Little stretch. There you go. That's good.
What's up, guys?
How you doing? This one?
A lot.
Like
Watch.
how many you think?
Why do you get back? One.
Shit, that's a whole crew. That's a crowd.
Or, you know, bridge that.
Right? You're man, Nick. Get the fucking viewers out here. All right, now about a half inch up. Cut it off. But make sure you've got enough attached to the heart that you can. You out of here for the night? Take care. We'll see you later. You can lay down.
Yeah. It's not.
I looks like you did. Have you seen any spots that look like they have those little sharp or weird points to them that don't quite look like it's fully fused down? Yeah. You got a good eye for it though. I feel like a lot of people would have missed that spot. There's only one spot that's questioning. And then hit it with the plane real quick. Oh, that's okay. Those points where it comes like this, sometimes you have to be weary just because like that's gonna be the weakest point of it. Yeah. Yeah, you can even just when you after heating it up and squeezing it, like use the squeeze to do a little bit of the stretching as well. But like when you do that initial squeeze commit, it's just one like squeeze it hard and hold it, and then let it set for a second, and then twist on it so that it's moving in line with the tool, if that makes sense. Like try not to twist it while you're cranking. Yep. Let it cool up for 3 seconds. Sweet. All right, open it and blow it out. First, blow. What you're trying to do is blow all that broken glass out of there. That's really dangerous because you're pulling it up close to your face, and then those glass bits are super toxic. And then when you're heating it up, it's like the pancake. You only heat two sides. You don't heat the edges, just the glass through the hole, essentially. That's probably melted closed again. That's the edge. That's the other edge. There you go. All right, stop. When you heat it up, like before it's opened up, when you heat it up, it's immediately trying to close up. So be mindful. It's a short little blast on either side. Get back in with the tool again. Another twist, and then opening motion. And it looks like you're already starting to figure out that tool. It's a lot easier when you hit one side and then squeeze it. Like tagging will allow you to find like this is where I want to hit, and like the squeeze just brings the other side to that. But like I said, I still struggle like a motherfucker with that thing. Like sometimes it is so hard to find where the center of that is. And if you twist off axis, that's when you're going to snap the bail off. Like you got a little jiggly with it there, and that's very front, but you just, all right, that's enough. You're never, once you've got the sail open, you're never getting it molten again. It's going to get really hot, but you can't get it molten or it's closed. Not the edge. Don't need the edge. Bring it out. Perfect. Blow it out. Flip it. Pull it. Is it open? Do you have a hole through it? Okay, cool. So just keep repeating the process. You're doing good. Flip it. And you can even do like a push pull when you go to put it back in there. Cool. All right, now it looks like it's probably big enough to be able to blast a little bit of heat, short rounds again, and then get that other graphite tool ready. Not the edges though. Blast straight through the hole. Flip it. Hit it. Now blast just the side that you're in. No, turn it around. Yep, hit just that side with the flame. Pull it out. Open it. There you go. Because we went. Um, the reason for flipping side like that, if you want to tear it off, is that in there, chunk on? Cool. Here's those. So there we go. Smell it, but I can't tell where. I was gonna say careful. Things might pop up here. All right. You good. Verge, can you hear me? Are we still going? Okay. How many people do we have on? Or does it show you like a total of how many people have watched? Use your marker. Remember how it's saying like this thing right here for your left-handed rod? Roll and then drag towards. Yeah. But you're gonna have to get it hotter. Do the same thing. Heat up just the very tip of it. And you're gonna try and kind of like roll it back into a rod more than a gather. All right, try it now. It's okay. It's just the timing thing too. Like you have a lot of heat into it. Give it just a second before you try and mash. And you're not like, don't press it down in there. Just roll it. Let it keep rolling. That was 3 times better. You don't have to rotate that one. Good practice, but yeah. You can always use that large gather when you tag. Give it just 1, 2, 3, and then slowly stretch it away, and it will thin out for you nicely. Yeah. That's, got excited. All right, go for it. Rotate. Both. Bicycle. You got it. What's your next tool? That's perfect. I'm gonna cheat. Hell yeah.
You don't break it naturally for that anyway.
Say that one.
If you're not like cracking, you don't have to like blow it out, right? You just for safety.
I'm
Like
not.
anytime, like I didn't really puncture it, so like like blowing the
Oh. Um. Yeah, like if it opened up all the way, you don't have to blow that dust out of there. I usually do it because if you go right back into the flame, sometimes that dust turns back into like a solid mass and it's just closed. We've been popular, evidently. Billy said, Verge said we had 20 people at one time.
I got an info question. Everybody,
All right. Fire away.
all put together. I left you a list in the back room. Do you want me to leave this all hooked up?
No.
Okay. Say bye.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Quentin's talk show.
Yeah, the opportunity for to get into that, and we this was really similar to that Seattle game. We didn't just not a sample, but they gave us some creation. So they were trying to play different style of football. It's great.